Will Howard made his Ohio State debut on Saturday. I'm Stephen Means. That's Stefan Krajisnik. That's Andrew Gillis. 17 of 28, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns, plus another 18 yards rushing. As we typically do, we're grading the quarterback. Stefan, what's your grade for Will Howard?
Yeah, I give him a B. I think early on things were kind of sluggish. I think he was a little bit kind of sporadic in the pocket, I think trying to do a little bit too much at times. And also he didn't get a lot of help from the offensive line, at least early on in the game. But after that, especially when Ohio State kind of got their run game going and we're able to kind of establish that phase of the game, it seemed like he settled in a bit, probably had to settle into the environment, the first game jitters that come even for a veteran quarterback like him. He's at a new spot, and I think he settled in and ended up making a few really good passes. The 2 touchdowns to Jeremiah Smith were both really good passes. I thought the deep ball to Jeremiah was a good pass. So overall, I think it was a pretty good performance, but I give it a B just because of maybe the sluggish start that you can't really afford when competition picks up.
So B?
B.
B? Where you at, Andrew?
I'm at a B too. I think there were a couple different things working today. I think we had this conversation last year, like how do you weigh the opponent? I mean, this is Akron. If he had done this against Penn State, I think we're probably looking at it much better, right? I think we're looking at it as a really solid day. Did this against Akron, so I think you need to weigh the quality of competition, kind of what you would expect. He said himself that the first half was not great, that they were forcing things, that he was forcing things, that he was just trying to do too much, and I think it looked like that. So I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was good enough. The thing that I need to see from him moving forward is how can you elevate this offense? What can you do with this offense to take them to that next level? Because that is something that we didn't see last year, and that is kind of the big promise with Will Howard, right? That he can elevate this team. So I want to see that. I'm going to talk more about this on Buckeye Talk, so listen to the podcast, please. But I don't know if he was necessarily put in the right position today in terms of how they operated the offense. I'm not holding that against him. Again, I have some thoughts about that and how the offense was kind of called and operated today. But I think it was a B. I think there was a lot of good, some bad. I think you can move on this moving forward.
2 Bs. I'm going to give him an A because I saw the thing you were talking about today. I thought the offensive line struggled for most of the first half. And I charted this out. He was 9 of 19 in the first half, and I think only 3 of those were his fault. 3 of them were drops by his wide receivers. There were another 3 that are just throwaways, which that's a good decision. There's nothing there, throw the ball away. It just counts as a negative in a box score. And then there were 3 others where I think the offensive line just didn't do him any favors. So that's only 3 of the 10 in the first half incompletions that were his fault, and he was 8 of 9 in the second half. I thought, to your point, the touchdown throws that Jeremiah Smith were great. I thought his best 2 plays of the day, one, he had a touchdown throw, not a touchdown, but a fade route to Jeremiah Smith that was like, whoa, Jeremiah Smith is good, but whoa, Will Howard can push the ball down the field. But he had another one. It was blitzer comes up the middle, and he's actually standing where I am right now. He does exactly what Kyle McCord didn't do last year. That was the point. He made space in the pocket. He made the guy miss. He didn't just take off and run like Justin Fields would have. He stayed poised in the pocket like C.J. Stroud would have. And what did he do? He found his receiver. It just happened to also be Jeremiah Smith. You're catching a theme for what the day was today. But kudos to Jeremiah Smith, too, for recognizing and not going what was clearly a go route and just stopping his route so that Will Howard had someone to throw to. That's what I saw because the offensive line is still a question. But with Kyle McCord, the offensive line being a question meant, dead play. With Will Howard, it might not be a dead play. And that's going to matter against Oregon. It's going to matter against Penn State as well.
So the offensive line is actually not where I'm going with this. So when we do our podcast, it's not the offensive line that I had some concerns with. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Will Howard, A, B, 52-6. Ohio State wins its first game. Go listen to Buckeye Talk wherever you find podcasts to listen to whatever Andrew's going to say was his concern. Get the text, 614-350-3315. It's a 2-week free trial, $3.99 after that. I'm Steven. He's Andrew. He's Stefan. We're out of here.